Barrios is a young fighter, bigger fighter, knows how to, control distance very well, can punch a little bit. Like, he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, no doubt about it. Tank is by far, the toughest test. But again, this is me having another title defense, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to be successful on Saturday.
The boxing world is full of tough men, hard hitters, quick dancers, ruthless strategists. But every once in a while, someone comes along who disrupts the rhythm, flips the script, and makes even the most hardened veterans stare, jaw-dropped, like they've just seen a UFO land in the middle of the ring. That someone right now is Mario Barrios.
Mario got the win. How do you feel about your performance?
I felt right about it. The eye, it made it hard to get my rhythm, to get my range down. But of course, I'm gonna stay in there.
No excuses, but being sick didn't help. Story on the right. Being sick with the flu didn't help. You got it done, baby.
Now let's be honest. Barrios didn't exactly burst onto the scene with thunder and fireworks. He wasn't the golden boy from the Olympics. He didn't have a Hollywood story, and he sure wasn't spoon-fed an undefeated record. No, he clawed his way into the limelight like a rabid animal fighting for every ounce of respect. And now, standing tall with the WBC welterweight championship strapped around his waist, he's become the center of one of the most electric discussions in boxing. Is Mario Barrios that good? Or are we all just caught in a hype cycle with gloved fists and sweaty promoters? Here's where it gets wild. 10 of Asia's greatest boxing legends, names that have ruled rings from Tokyo to Bangkok, are singing the praises of this American fighter like he's the second coming of Sugar Ray, only taller, slicker, and with a Texas drawl. These are men who fought wars in the squared circle, men who know what greatness smells like, and they're saying Barrios isn't just good, he's absurd, he's crazy good. What on earth has this guy done to make them lose their minds? Let's wind the tape back. Picture Barrios, a lanky, sharp-eyed fighter from San Antonio, walking into a gym full of pros with a chip on his shoulder and no guarantees. He wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the strongest, but he was relentless. And somewhere along the line, that relentlessness morphed into a kind of terrifying artistry. The kind that leaves bruises not just on bodies, but on the psyches of opponents who come in confident and leave doubting every life decision they've ever made.
Would you want to see Boots versus Barrios? Of course. I like to see Boots just in there, period. But that lets you know how much you need people like Barrios. Because people who got something to lose, or not even something to lose, people who are superstars in their head, don't fight everybody. That's why I say Shawn Porter kept the welterweight division alive. He fought them all. Barrios is doing the same thing. You need Barrios. You need people like Barrios, because Barrios will take them.
Now, back to our Asian legends. They're not fools. They've seen prospects come and go. They've heard the roar of hungry fans cheering for the next big thing, only to watch that promise vanish in a single jab cross combo. But this time, they're not rolling their eyes. They're nodding with respect. From the Philippines to South Korea, from Japan to Thailand, they're watching Barrios and saying, yeah, this guy's the real deal. Why? Because Barrios doesn't fight like a welterweight. He fights like a man possessed. His footwork is too clean, too smooth, too slick. He moves like he's wearing rocket boosters under his boots. Opponents think they've got him pinned down, only for him to pivot out, unleash a left hook, and turn their game plan into a pile of wet cardboard. One retired legend from Japan even compared watching Barrios to watching a snake charm a mongoose, only to bite it clean through the neck. That's the kind of poetic violence Barrios brings to the ring. And then there's his jab. Oh, his jab. Boxing nerds talk about jabs like sommeliers talk about wine. Crisp, sharp, aged to perfection. Barrios has a jab that doesn't just sting. It interrogates. It asks questions opponents don't want to answer. And if they flinch, that's when the real punishment begins. But maybe what's most shocking, what's truly insane, is Barrios' ability to take a hit. It's not just that he can eat punches. It's the way he grins through them like a man chewing on steel. You hit him, and it's like you've activated a new phase of the fight. The calm technician transforms into a berserker who smells blood and forgets the concept of pain. That toughness, combined with his IQ, is what made these Asian legends stand up and say, "Watch out." Pacquiao, of course, is the main attraction, the legend. The Storm in human form, the man who carved a path through 8 weight classes like it was a stroll in the park. And now, at 46, he's stepping back into the ring to fight Barrios. A few years ago, that would have been a mismatch. Pacquiao's speed, explosiveness, and rhythm would have swallowed Barrios whole. But this isn't a few years ago, this is now. And now, Barrios is the wolf at the door. That's why these boxing icons are speaking up. Not because they doubt Pacquiao, they worship him, but because they recognize a dangerous truth. Barrios is young, hungry, and battle-tested. And while Pacquiao is an eternal warrior, time is an enemy even he can't KO. What's nuts is how Barrios isn't treating this fight like some fairy tale. He's not wide-eyed or overconfident. He's locked in, training like a man who knows exactly what kind of dragon he's about to slay and how dangerous that fire still burns.
So it's true, Barrios and Pacquiao fighting in July. I told y'all, man, that was the rumor, but Suleiman confirmed it. Pacquiao wants to retire the WBC champion. I'm rooting for Barrios, though. I like Pacquiao, but I gotta go with Barrios.
And don't think for a second that Barrios is getting by on athleticism alone. This isn't a high school jock turned boxer. This is a thinking fighter, a man who dissects tape, understands angles, and knows when to press and when to pause. He can lull you into a rhythm, then break it with a thunderous body shot that knocks the air out of your soul. Several Asian legends pointed out something curious. Barrios has developed a sixth sense in the ring. They say he can predict combinations before they even come. He reads body language, shoulder twitches, foot pressure. It's like watching a chess master play speed checkers and still win every time. That ring IQ, coupled with freakish endurance, makes him dangerous in the late rounds. Opponents think they've got him figured out, only for Barrios to dig deep in round 10 and start throwing like it's round 2. One Thai legend even remarked that Barrios fights like he's got a second set of lungs stashed somewhere under the ring apron. Let's not forget his precision. Barrios doesn't throw to impress. He throws to hurt. Every shot has intention. Every angle has purpose. This isn't flailing madness, it's clinical brutality. His uppercuts split guards like can openers. His hooks come around with the timing of a perfectly thrown boomerang.
Yeah, it's surprising. Obviously, I know Manny very well. You know, he's a true competitor. He's a guy that if you put something in his head, and obviously to create more history, he's a guy that's going to give everything and, you know, try his best. That's what Manny, one thing I always learned with Manny is give 110% and try your best no matter what. So yeah, he's going to give it his all. Again, you can't beat Father Time, but Father Time is hard, and it was very hard watching him fight Lucas, and you could see it. And then watching the exhibition he had with the Korean guy or the Japanese guy in last year, it was hard to watch.
Even Barrios' defense has improved dramatically. He used to get tagged cold. This transformation didn't happen overnight. It was forged in fire. After his loss to Gervonta Davis, Barrios didn't sulk. He rebuilt, rewired, refocused. That loss, instead of breaking him, became a blueprint for reinvention. Since then, he's grown sharper, meaner, more tactical, and it shows. That's what the Asian boxing greats admire most, the ability to evolve. Anyone can win, but not everyone learns. Barrios learns, fast. And now, as he stands toe-to-toe with a living legend, he isn't hoping to win. He's expecting to, not because of arrogance, but because he's done the work. The mountain was climbed, the scars were earned, and now he's ready to etch his name in stone. Let's be real. If Barrios beats Pacquiao, the conversation shifts. He won't just be the guy with the belt. He'll become the man who retired a legend. The man who proved experience and legacy can be matched by evolution and fire.
If he does fight Barrios, man, I got money on Mario Barrios. They're playing with fire again, bro. They might get fucking hurt up there with this dude.
Possibly.
You know Barrios is punching.
I think that's the point. You know, right now everyone thinks he's chinny. Everyone thinks he's done. That's why I wanted him to go in there with someone like Matias and get the upset win. But this would be the same. Barrios would be probably a favorite because of the power, because he's already at 47. And, you know, it didn't work out well for him the last time he fought a common opponent with Tank.
It's no surprise then that 10 of Asia's most battle-hardened warriors are watching with bated breath. They've seen glory. They've tasted victory. But now, from across oceans, they're pointing at Mario Barrios and saying, that kid is different. The road ahead isn't easy. Barrios knows that. But greatness doesn't ask for easy. It demands sacrifice. And Barrios? He's already sacrificed. Now he's coming to collect. Boxing needs characters. It needs energy. It needs chaos wrapped in discipline. Barrios is all of that. He's not a viral sensation. He's not a manufactured machine. He's a product of grind, and the legends recognize it. This July, when the bell rings and two generations meet at the center of the ring, the world will be watching. But the whispers have already started. The legends have spoken, and their message is clear. Barrios isn't a fluke. He isn't hype. He's real. He's dangerous. And he just might be the future.
Manny Pacquiao is negotiating with Barrios to fight at 147. No tears. I haven't heard one tear. So guess what? Since we know that Mario Barrios and Manny Pacquiao has been in serious negotiations, let me ask you, is it a good fight? Mario Barrios versus Tank Davis at 147. Yes, it is. That fight was a struggle, and if Mario Barrios wasn't weight trained with the rehydration clause at 140, think about 147, Tank going up from 135 to 147. Yeah, y'all, no.
Just when you thought you'd heard it all, here comes another wave of admiration from corners of Asia that barely ever agree on anything, except maybe rice and fight night. Legends from Japan to the Philippines, from South Korea to Thailand, are stepping out of retirement homes, old training camps, and ancestral shrines of pugilistic glory to talk about one name, Mario Barrios. And no, they're not politely nodding in respect. They're yelling it, shouting it with the kind of raw disbelief you'd expect when a newcomer walks into the dojo, takes a spinning elbow to the face, and somehow counters with a backflip uppercut. Picture this, a legendary Muay Thai fighter known for breaking 5 ribs in a single round back in the 90s, watches Barrios tape and goes stone silent. Not out of confusion, out of pure tactical respect. This is a fighter who once kicked a man so hard his grandchildren sneezed. Yet here he is, rewinding a slow-motion replay of Barrios' jab like it's fine cinema. That kind of attention, you don't get it unless you're doing something borderline supernatural.
Tank going up from 135 to 147. Yeah, y'all, no, shoe program. Because Mario Barrios was winning every round leading up right before he got knocked down. You fight Mario Barrios at 147, it may be a different story. I'm not saying that Mario Barrios wins. I'm saying that Mario Barrios is more comfortable at 147, way bigger than Gervonta Tank Davis. What is he, 5'10", 5'11"? All right, Gervonta Tank Davis never only fought at 140 once, never fought at 147. Move up from 135 to 147. Y'all know it's a tough fight.
It's not just Barrios' footwork that's getting global gasps. It's his mental game. Asian boxing icons, many raised in cultures that revere patience, are calling Barrios a fast-thinking monk in gloves. That's a big statement coming from champions raised on the teachings of Zen, Bushido, and enough old-school punishment drills to make your legs cramp in sympathy. He doesn't waste time in the ring. He doesn't overthink. He doesn't blink. And somehow, he doesn't even sweat. He just flows. It's almost annoying. And here's the kicker. Barrios isn't walking into this fame with some arrogant, chest-thumping nonsense. No gold-plated teeth, no diamond-studded robes. He's got that clean-cut San Antonio steeliness to him. Cool, focused, almost boringly humble, until you realize he's dissecting legends with surgical precision. It's like watching a librarian snap a gladiator's jaw mid-sentence. From Seoul, a retired Korean champ known only by the nickname Iron Crane gave a rare interview admitting Barrios moves like ink spilled on silk. That's poetry. That's admiration dipped in national pride and flavored with just a hint of confusion. Because let's be honest, Asian boxing heroes have seen it all. They've trained in rainstorms, they've sparred blindfolded, they've kicked trees till they snapped. And now they're watching a kid from Texas break down opponents like they're IKEA furniture. Barrios' strategic brilliance is part of what's leaving these veterans speechless. He's not just brawling, he's solving a puzzle in real time. Opponents try to corner him, and within seconds, they're the ones against the ropes, wondering where the trap was laid. It's like fighting a ghost with a plan. Filipino icons, long defenders of their national treasure Manny Pacquiao, are now nervously whispering that this could be the final curtain. Not because Pacquiao is weak, but because Barrios is something else entirely. A fresh page, a new chapter, a puzzle no one solved yet. And you know what scares a ring veteran the most? Not pain, not even defeat. It's not knowing. It's uncertainty. Barrios is a walking question mark, and no one has found the answer.
Barrios.
Meanwhile, Japanese boxing traditionalists are grappling with Barrios' unorthodox style. He doesn't follow the strict, stiff sequences of textbook boxing. He's improvisational jazz. He's a guitar solo in the middle of an orchestra. Yet, it works, and not just barely. It works so well that it leaves trained eyes blinking at the screen like they missed a scene. Let's talk hand speed. The moment Barrios throws a combo, you can practically hear a gong of surprise ring across East Asia. There's a rhythm to it that doesn't belong in a traditional ring. He's like a cybernetic artist, composing flurries that freeze time just long enough for legends to check their pulse and question reality. When was the last time a fighter's uppercut looked like it had GPS? And yet, Barrios doesn't need to KO to impress. His domination isn't just physical, it's psychological. He walks into the ring like it's his office, and the opponent is just another email to delete. Legends across China are calling him a 1,000-year fighter born too early. That's praise so thick with myth, it could be carved in jade.
He has been in a double jab, purple jab, left hook for Ramos. South of the equator went Ramos with that shot.
In Thailand, young fighters are mimicking his style in shadowboxing sessions while older coaches draped in medals and sacred tattoos sit and nod silently. Because they see it too, the truth behind the madness. Barrios isn't just an American champ, he's a mirror, and every boxing culture that looks into him sees something different, something terrifyingly familiar. South Korean sports media even ran a 3-part documentary analyzing his ring IQ. Not his knockouts, not his training montage, just his decisions, how he shifts weight, how he feints, how he sets up his angles like a Go grandmaster predicting 10 moves ahead. In those circles, that kind of mind is revered. That's the stuff you can't coach. You either have it or you don't. Back in the Philippines, a growing number of trainers are already saying it. Win or lose, Pacquiao's fight with Barrios will be symbolic. The passing of the torch, the last stand of a hero meeting the fire of the future. And here's the wild part. It's not an insult to Pacquiao, it's a tribute. Because who better to face Barrios than a legend? Who better to test the new king than the old emperor? You can't help but laugh at how this is unfolding. All these once untouchable fighters now sounding like school kids meeting their idol for the first time. Barrios did that, without flexing, without trash talking, just pure surgical violence in motion. Legends respect violence, but they worship precision. And Barrios is precision made human, even in Mongolia, where wrestling reigns supreme and gloves are an afterthought. Boxing gyms are running Barrios highlights for young fighters. Because even in cultures where brute strength has always been the language, there's a whisper now. This is the new dialect. Learn it or get left behind.
Or something to slow him down because now he's starting to go, oh!
So what's next? Will Mario Barrios take the belt and run the division into a new age? Will he become a name whispered in back alleys of Bangkok training gyms and Tokyo boxing clubs alike? It's looking that way. And if this is the future of boxing, then the world better learn how to catch up, because Barrios isn't slowing down. He's pressing forward, calculating, reacting, and delivering exactly the kind of performance that makes old champions squint and reconsider everything they once knew. He's not just a fighter, he's a disruption. A Texas-born earthquake rumbling through boxing cultures that have stood strong for generations. And from the looks of it, he's just getting started. So if you're reading this and haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, punch that like icon, and comment below with your favorite Barrios moment. Or better yet, tell us which Asian legend you think would last more than 4 rounds with him. Spoiler, probably none. More action, more chaos, more legends flipping out coming your way. Don't miss it.